Hello everyone, I'm Charles and welcome to Game and Over. Today we have a special guest and expert reviewing the most famous So Bad It's Good games. We'll define the much hyped game the day before. Together we'll dissect the creator's strategies, explore how a promising idea can spiral into a chaos, and discuss whether this theory truth have the black flash is getting. Stay tuned, it's going to be a wild ride. Hello guys, I'm really excited that you could join us today. Thank you, Charles, for inviting me. I'm ready to talk about video games, especially the disaster that it is the day before. Awesome! I'm glad that you are as excited as I am. Alright, let's dive in. Can you explain why the debut was so poorly received? Absolutely. The trouble started when they released an incredible trailer cinematic, almost like a movie. That's what I call movie games. For just 3 days before the game's official launch, they delayed it by a month. They tried to convince everyone that they weren't scamming people. How can you not call it a scam when the game was unfinished, riddled with bugs, and clearly not for release? Here's where it gets even crazy. A reporter who visited their studio found out their supposed office in Singapore was actually a shared co-working space. And to top it off, Singapore's government had invested 1 million in this project, hoping to boost their local games love scene. Now tell me, how is this not a scam? Wow, that sounds like a blatant attempt to scam people. Were you there when this whole mess began? Unfortunately, no. I was on my honeymoon, relaxing on the beach, fighting off a sugar coma from too many deserts and watching monkeys in the distance. But as soon as I go back, I dove into researching everything to get the full story. Oh, congratulations on your wedding and honeymoon. Anyway, back to the topic. What do you know about the people who bought the game for $40? At first, the studio behind the game, called Fntastic, refused to issue refunds. That's when Gabe Nagel, the CEO of Steam, stepped in. He forced the studio to refund the players and even removed the game from Steam. The only people who can still playing it are the ones who didn't request a refund. Oh my gosh, that's so ridiculous! Why didn't they just make a decent game with all the money Singapore's government gave them? Speaking of that, I saw your last YouTube video. I'm a big fan. By the way, you mentioned trying to buy a copy yourself. What was the experience like? Thanks, Vitreos. Yeah, I tried to get a copy, but the few I believe were priced outrageously. 2,000, 5,000, even 1,000,000, 2,000. It was absurd. What did you do? Luckily, Senor Serpiente let me his account so I could check it out firsthand, and let me tell you, it was real. The game was poorly made, lazy, and completely devoid of life. It was the emptiest non-linear MMORPG I ever seen. You'd get bored just walking around, and even the zombies seemed unmotivated to attack you. That's wild! A friend of mine followed all the trailers leading up to the release, hoping it would live up to the hype. They said one of the trailers called it the best post-apocalyptic MMORPG of the generation. What a letdown! It's unbelievable what they did. The worst thing I noticed while playing was the gym mirrors. Instead of realistic reflection, it was just a static superimposed image of your character, exactly as you see them while playing. It was so lazy. That's when I realized most of the assets in the game had been purchased from online asset stores. And I decided to dig deeper into what Fntastic actually did themselves. Wait, seriously? The entire game was built with pre-book assets? That's mind-blowing, so what did you find that the show actually contribute? Their main contribution was the missions, and even those weren't proper story missions. They're just a basic fetch quest, collect 3 items, bring them back, and that's it. But even leaving the base is a nightmare, not because of difficult, but because of the endless bugs. After that, I checked Twitter to see if they addressed any of this, and on December 22, it just 15 days after launch, the developers announced that the game was no longer profitable. Are you kidding me? That's absurd. Did they really expect people not notice the game issues and demand refunds? Exactly! Either they are the most incompetent developers on the planet, or they knew the game was a garbage and thought they could milk as much money as possible before players caught on. And there's the kicker. In the same statement, they announced that the servers will shut down on January 22, 2024, just 46 days after the launch. That's insane! An online game shutting down in less than 2 months? What did you do next? Well, on January 13, I logged in to see what the game was like. The server list said there were low numbers of players, but in reality it was empty. Completely dead, I figured. No big deal, I can still connect. Big mistake, I couldn't join a single game. Then it hit me since there were no players, they probably stopped paying for the service to save money. I kept trying for the next few days, testing all the servers at different times, nothing, and on January 22, the day they shut down, there was even a farewell message. Use an option to create a new character, searching for service, showing nothing, and they didn't ever pretend anymore. It was over. Wow, this sounds like something out of a Mission Impossible movie with betrayals, absurd scenes, and things that should happen in real life, but they did. It's astonishing. Now, I want to talk about one topic that I want to know about your opinion about the Game Awards and about the game Balatro. I didn't know anything about this game, just that it's a card game and it's just so good. I know such friends that like a lot this game, and I didn't know anything. And other thing that I want to know your opinion is was the best topic of the Game Awards, the best game of the year. That was Black Myth Wukong, the DLC of Elden Ring, and Astrobot, and I didn't know what is missing of me. Well, I want to know your opinion about this. Could you give it to me? Yeah, Bisha, great question. I played a lot of Balatro and I could say that it's a great game. Like, it's not with such best graphics or such history, but when they played it, you could feel all the adrenaline and you could just you could love it. I it's all I can say to you. You need to play Balatro to really know what I'm talking about. Yeah, and about the big one, the the best game of the year. I could say that Astrobot, that were the choice of the judge, is a great one. You know, I don't know if it was the best, but it's not a scam how all the people say. I could say that Astrobot that could tell us the story of PlayStation with the best graphics and so and just a big adventure with this little robot and could see all the figures of the license of PlayStation. It's just a great sense, and I choose a great adventure. Like the other games that I could talk about is the Elden Ring, that it's not a game, it's a DLC, and I don't know why they gave the opportunity to a DLC, not a complete game, to this opportunity. It's almost all the thing that I never could think that it's happened. And about Black Myth could come, they won, I think, the best graphics or the best audio. But yeah, it's a great election. I could say, yeah, it's a great election. But I could say that Astrobot is the big one of this. And actually, the last year, Elden Ring win the game of the year, and if the DLC win this award, it could be so realistic that a DLC game a game award, not a game, a DLC game a game award. It's just annoying. It's just something just a great realistic, and this all I can say. Thank you so much, Garus, for taking the time to come on the show and share this incredible story. It's been a fascinating discussion about video games and the chaos behind them. The pleasure was all mine. I had a great time on your podcast and I hope you'll invite me back to talk about more terrible games and scam attempts in the future.